I'm going to be sharing with you in this video the 3 biggest reasons that most people do not manifest what they want in their life. If you do the opposite of these 3 reasons, congratulations, you're going to manifest everything that your heart wants. Let's talk about that in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because it actually posts a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video, in terms of one of the biggest reasons, the first biggest reason that most people do not manifest what they really want is very simple, but I believe that the most powerful things in life are the most simple things. And that first thing is a lack of boldness. A lack of boldness. This is why most people do not manifest what they want, because they're just not bold enough. They're too scared to be bold. So even though it sounds simple, I'm going to make it very general. I'm not going to be specific here because boldness is just something individual to each person. How can you be more bold in your life? Maybe it's just making an epic offer to somebody in your business, right? An epic offer. Maybe it's signing up for something that you haven't signed up for before, some program. Maybe it's just making an investment or something. How can you be more bold? How can you personally be more bold in your life? Because this is how you manifest, is you start to realize that being bold is the way to do it. See, if you're not bold in your life, how can you expect to get something in your life that is different from who it used to be? You have to make a bold, epic decision that is totally different. Now, you do what you want. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but if you can learn to be more bold, in my experience, you're absolutely going to live an epic life that 99% of people are simply not living. So how can you be more bold in your life? What does that mean to you? How can you personally be more bold? I want you to ponder upon that, because if you really get this, your reality is not going to be the same. You're going to be different. If you embody more boldness in your life, I promise you, whatever that means to you, very fast you're going to notice more magic. Because you have to shift yourself out of the haze of not being bold and say, you know what? I'm going to be bold today. And then things change. So what does that mean to you? Let me know in the comments down below. How can you be more bold? I would love to know. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video, in terms of the second biggest reason that 99% of people do not manifest what they really want, is number 2. And this is really huge, which is connected to a lack of boldness, is number 2. They are lost in repeating loops and patterns. Lost in repeating loops and patterns. See, if you want to become something different in your life, you need to break yourself out of the unconscious haze that you're in. It's the only way. See, when you're lost in a sea of unconsciousness, doing the same thing in your life, again and again and again and again, expecting to achieve a different result, it is the definition of insanity. It's insane. You have to break yourself out of that haze, in my opinion. And unless we do that, we're never going to manifest. Manifestation means reprogramming yourself into a different version, a different identity that is out of alignment with who you used to be, and to make a choice to become something different and to align with who you prefer to be. Now, if you keep allowing yourself, which is a choice, I have a book coming out on this very, very soon called The Power of Choice. Stay tuned for that, which explains that from a metaphysical point of view, being stuck in the same patterns is absolutely a choice. And anybody that believes that it is not a choice to stay stuck in those loops will continue to be a victim in their life and never find the peace that is within them. That is the truth. That is the truth. It doesn't matter, really. I don't want to sound arrogant here, but like, I'm coming from a space of, until I decided to realize and decide that it was a choice to do that, I was stuck because I believed I had to be stuck. when you believe that you have to be stuck and it's not a choice, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy which manifests that reflection. Does that make sense? So to break out of this, it's so critical to take ownership. And again, I'm going to be talking about this more in that book that's coming out, so stay tuned for that. But from a metaphysical point of view, we need to take responsibility. I mean, you don't need to do anything, but I highly invite you to do this if you want to find peace in your life and manifest the reality your heart really wants, to realize that being stuck in a similar pattern of doing similar things again and again and again and again and again, insanity is a choice. It doesn't happen by accident. You need to break yourself out of that haze and decide that you're done with that. And once you realize this, you will be free and you will begin to manifest your heart's desires again. So that's the second biggest reason, is that most people are just lost in this sea of unconsciousness. I encourage you to open yourself up to the possibility. Maybe this is reflection showing you that you're already doing this. Maybe it's something you need to hear that is pointing you in a direction that you're not doing it in, something you want to do, or if that makes sense the way I said that. But whatever the case is, whoever you are watching this, I encourage you to always challenge yourself and to become conscious when you're becoming lost in something you used to be, and say, you know what? That's not me anymore. That's who I used to be. But I'm not going to go down that road anymore because I know what it's like there. Now if you're going through some crazy situation and have to survive, fine. You could use it as a safety net. You can always go back. Here's the thing with the old identity. If you really, really want, you can always go back. You can always go back to the unconsciousness and the resistance and who used to be. You can always go back if you want to by that point. If you really want to, But the key is to see that you don't want to go back. You want to make a choice to say, you know what, that's not me anymore. I don't want to keep going back. So I encourage you to stop going back. Just stop. Become who you want to be. Build momentum. Become so excited about your life to the point where it's like, God, I don't even know who that is anymore. Why would I go back to that person? Just not me. It's not me anymore. It's like I can play with that and I'm cloak myself, but it's gonna feel like you're wearing, this analogy I heard from a video the other day. It's gonna feel like you're wearing too many clothes on a hot summer day. See, if you're wearing too many clothes on a hot summer day, you gotta take off the clothes. Let your body breathe a little bit, Like think about it like this. If you're walking outside and you're wearing too many clothes on a hot summer's day, and then you go blaming other people for it, do you see how insane that is? Why are you blaming people? Well, you're the one choosing to wear the clothes. Take off the clothes and you'll feel a lot better. So the reason why you feel bad is not because somebody is attacking you or somebody's lowering your frequency, and that's what we like to believe, right? Blaming, victim, judgment, blaming, all these things, attacking this person's making you feel this way and all these things, right? But it's like, actually, just take off the clothes, and it's like, you can actually breathe again. So you got to take off the clothes and take responsibility for the fact that the reason why you might feel how you feel is because you're just wearing too many clothes on a hot summer's day. So just take off the clothes and you realize, oh my gosh, there's all these different possibilities that I wasn't even conscious of because I felt so weighed down by these clothes. See, when you're wearing too many clothes, this is the analogy, on a hot summer's day, right? You're wearing these blinders. You're blinded to all these amazing possibilities in your life. All these amazing possibilities, you can't see them. You're not able to perceive them because you're too cloaked. There's too much heaviness. See, when you're living from heaviness, all you see is life through that lens. But when you take off the clothes, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice there's all these amazing things that I didn't even notice before, right? And so the first step is to break yourself out of the haze, the unconscious haze, and then you start to manifest more. Things start to become more magical. You start to realize that you don't need to be wearing all these clothes on a hot summer's day. You can actually be more free and manifest more effortlessly. And that's what I believe our natural state is. I believe that our natural state of being is, of course, to feel like you're feeling the amazing weather. You can wear however many clothes you want. If you don't feel like wearing a jacket outside, then you don't have to wear a jacket. You should naturally feel good. Why should you wear too many clothes on a hot summer's day? Imagine somebody told you you have to. So, well, I don't want to. You take it off and you feel a lot better. But see, the loops that people fall into is they somehow convince themselves that they have to wear all of these clothes and they don't have to. You could just take it off, right? It's like, oh wow, I didn't even know. I convinced myself that I had to. But you had to go through that to realize you don't have to go through that, right? Sometimes what happens in life is that we have to wear too many clothes on hot. I love this analogy. If you can't tell, leave a comment down below if this resonates for you. It's like sometimes you have to go through lessons and wear too many clothes on a hot summer's day to then realize that you didn't have to do it, but you had to go through it to then realize that you didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. Now, the third thing that I want to share with you in this video, to conclude this video, in terms of the third biggest reason why 99% of people do not manifest the life they really actually want, for real, actually, not what you think you want, but really you're suffering like wearing too many clothes, what you actually want, is they're afraid to make life-changing choices. See, if you want to experience a different result in your life, you need to make a bold choice and do something different, a life-changing choice. Let me ask you this. What are the consequences of not making a different choice? Oftentimes we get really, really scared. It's like, what if I, if I make this different choice, right? This could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Oh my gosh, all these negative things could happen to me if I make this choice. Let me break this myth for you right now. Well, what will happen if you don't make a different choice? All the things that you're actually afraid of happening most of the times. Not always, but listen closely here, because I think this is such a powerful communication that can truly change your life. Oftentimes we're afraid to make a bold, life-changing choice because we're afraid of all these things that could happen, right? But oftentimes, what actually happens when you don't make a choice and change because you're afraid of all these things happening, okay, listen closely, the things that you're afraid of happening actually happen to you. You live into the fear. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So let me be more specific. You don't make a choice to be something different because you're afraid that all these things could happen to you. But then all those things that you're afraid of happening to you actually happen to you because you didn't make the choice. Whereas if you make the choice, those things that you thought were going to happen to you don't happen to you because you have to break out of the patterns. You need to make a choice to break out of the patterns, and then you stop living into the thing you're afraid of. People are living on this planet in a self-fulfilling prophecy of fear. A self-fulfilling prophecy. It's insanity once you realize it. It's like, oh God, it's like these negative reflections in your life. Look, I'm not saying that we manifest everything. Some things could just be the way that they are, but on a certain level, the negative reflections that we're getting in our life are, in my experience, always a reflection of my energy. Not always. The only reason I'm hesitating to say always is because I don't want to say something that might not be beneficial to somebody. But for me, almost always, 99% of the time, the negative reflections are because of me. And even if there's not some truth to it, what other perspective am I going to have? To believe that, it's happening because of some random reason is just going to make you feel disempowered, feed into the victim mentality, and most of the times still feed into the self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's like when you're realistic, you just live into these things that you hate. So, once you realize the insanity of this is when you're going to be free, because you realize that you don't have to keep creating all these self-fulfilling prophecies and these fears. When you do the opposite of what you think is going to happen, because when you make a choice and you're bold, most of the times, whatever you thought was going to happen, the opposite of that happens. You manifest everything you wanted plus even more, and the things that you thought was going to happen that you're scared of happening doesn't happen.